Welcome back to Disco Elysium. We met our partner just recently. We ran away from paying our debt to the manager, so I guess it's time for us to just leave. Let's just leave it at that. We already left. We already bailed out. Let's forget about that money we owe. We don't even know what money is. That's how far out we are. Well, we're finally outside. Outside the whirling in rags. A heap of snow melts in this wheelbarrow. The street sign reads, "Fuck the police." Pigs go home. The street name is illegible. Who's this then?
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with?
You sound surprised.
We don't see a lot of police around here, that's all.
I have some questions for you.
Of course. What can I help you with?
We need directions.
Of course. Where to?
Oh boy, I'm looking for a dead body.
Oh, that's right there, in the yard.
She's relieved someone has come for it. Finally.
Finally. It didn't take all that long to actually get to it, being the superior police officer that we are. Where am I?
What do you mean?
I'm disorientated. I just don't know where I am.
Yes, sir. District of Martinez. This intersection is called Roundabout North.
It took a while. I was not expecting that.
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
The lieutenant seems uncomfortable with the level of disorientation you're displaying. Yes, I know exactly where we are. What is up in the north?
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really.
A pier and the apartment buildings. Okay, what's in the east?
The harbor gates. Some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, too.
A fleet, you say? I don't know what that is, but what's in the south?
Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Some kind of accident, probably.
An accident, you say? What is on the other side of the canal?
Just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market. But that got closed down ages ago.
How about the west?
It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands in the bay, but they're hard to reach.
Thank you. That's all for now.
No problem.
She nods, brushing a flake of soil off her cheek. What is this fuck the police business?
Excuse me?
She doesn't understand.
She's uncomfortable. Maybe you should drop this line of questioning.
No, I think we should keep pushing on. The street sign says, "Fuck the police." Point to it.
Oh. Well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here.
What about the other sign? "Pigs go home." Who are these pigs?
I don't know anything about that either. As I said, I didn't write it.
Pig is a widely used term for members of the police. It's not loving.
Ah, just like in real life.
No need to worry. We are not saying you did.
Okay. Well, I didn't.
She leans back, shoulders relaxing. Who are you exactly?
Me? I am just a gardener.
Cool. And what are you doing here?
I'm working.
Working on what?
I have a greenhouse in the yard there. I've been trying to get some work done.
But?
Well, as you already know, there's a corpse there, hanging from a tree. It smells pretty bad, so I have to take breaks.
Oh yeah, the corpse that I absolutely know about.
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean it up. You can get to work soon.
Thank you. My head is about to explode from all the salts I've had to inhale.
Well, I have to run.
Of course. I won't hold you back.
She wipes her brow with the canary yellow glove.
Her gloves. You get the feeling that you need them. You have a dead body to deal with after all.
That's a good point, Inland Empire. One more thing. Can I borrow your gloves?
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
She hands you the rubber gloves with no visible annoyance. Thank you. So we got gloves, which gives us +1 to interfacing. Bye bye, bugs. Thick latex gardening gloves in a classic canary yellow. Maybe you should retire, take up gardening as a hobby. It's worth a thought. Well, maybe. Maybe we can consider it. For now, we'll put this on. It is +1 to interfacing, and we didn't equip the shirt before because we really wanted to fail our name check so that we can become Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. But I think we can put it on for now. Looking snazzy with those garden gloves. We also have a new item. We got the kind green ape pen from Elena before. It's a pen with a green ape head on the end. The ape has closed its eyes, a kind expression adorning its face. It seems to be meditating. We have a pen. It's good to have a pen when you're a police officer. So, we were going to explore the body, and Gart did say that there's a hole enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry to ride through the fence. I think this is it.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Why am I looking at this?
Cop habit. You look at everything.
Yes, the good old cop habit.
This isn't case related, you think?
Probably, but how would we know? What kind of vehicle drove through here?
Hard to say. Your vision is blurred and you're having difficulty concentrating thanks to your relentless hangover.
Yeah, I can understand that. Well, we could try visual calculus, and I suppose we could, since we don't have really any tools to improve that, I guess we could try if chat wants to improve or decrease our chances with this one. So let's give it a go. If we want this to get better, we would have to improve intelligence. Let's see how it goes. Well, it's still 58%. That's fine. Let's give it a shot.
No, these tracks are not interesting at all. Let the street sweeper just sweep them away.
Yeah, we might just do that. It's probably not important. Again, if you did something and it didn't work, it's just that the extension is not working properly. We don't need to worry about that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and we'll just see where it takes us. Smells like spoiled meat and curdled dairy. A human being decomposes. Yeah, that is a decomposing body. That is definitely one. That message just showed up somewhere that I didn't get to see what it is. It was about this very rackety ladder here. I remember that much, but unfortunately we didn't get to see that. Well, however, whatever the case, we got a blip here. this ladder's for kids, it wouldn't hold the weight of a grown man. Well, this is the dead body. I guess we should examine it. This is our job. I'm still thinking about these thoughts that we got the previous time. Some kind of superstar and inexplicable feminist agenda. I really want to internalize these at some point, but perhaps right now is not the time. We might need logic to actually figure out what's going on with this dead body. Perhaps we'll internalize these thoughts a little later.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth. You seem to be holding your breath.
Look down.
A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
God, what is that? Why is it so bad?
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! The cock's gonna blow, Kuno!
Oh boy. Our endurance is not very good because our physical is so low that we basically have no chance to clear this. Let's see if the chat can improve that. If this works properly. It doesn't seem to be perfect, but we want a +2 physical. I don't think it's going to make a difference. Yeah, it's still at 3. Well, let's try to let go of our nose without throwing up and see how it goes for us.
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within.
Try to walk away.
Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
Fucking corpse.
Keep it.
The lieutenant hands you a blue checkered handkerchief. Yeah, I don't need chat for this. I'm just gonna thank him for it.
The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head.
You think ammonia would help?
If you can handle the headache. Some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor.
But not you.
I can't handle the headache.
It's more likely he can handle the smell, unlike you.
That's not very assuring. Okay, where do we get ammonia from?
That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell.
That is true, she did mention that.
If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fleet store nearby.
Yep, also the convenience store that was mentioned.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Thank you, tutorial agent. Well,
There
we
he
simply
still
cannot...
is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Yep, we can't do anything with him anymore. We need to acquire ammonia or something else. Yeah, the text boxes are acting weird too. They're right in the mouth hole. The text boxes are appearing somewhere where they shouldn't be, which is a little bit bizarre. This winch mechanism has been oxidizing for some years. We got a couple of things we can interact with here. But perhaps for right now we should just go and ask for the ammonia. We do have a dead body to investigate.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
Do you still have your salts? I think I could use some.
Sure. I'm done with them.
She takes a small capsule out of her breast pocket and hands it to you.
Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
Sure, we'll be easy on the ammonia. So now that we have that, I suppose we can just try exploring it again.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
It's still very, very low. I'm not sure if chat is able to boost this to the point where it actually makes a difference. But let's give it a shot. If we want this to succeed, we would need an additional point in physical. So as I click this button, you should have the chance to actually to affect it. Hopefully it will work. We still have some information about a possible solution for this, but for right now we'll just keep going with this session until it ends, and we'll figure out all the quirks later. Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, it appears. But yeah, let's just try not throwing up again. It's nuts. It doesn't seem very likely we'll be able to do that.
The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. You manage to keep it in once. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
The ammonia didn't help at all.
Nor does the wind right now.
You feel the lieutenant pat your back rhythmically.
The weight is reassuring, like a crenel on solid fortification. Pat, pat, pat.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder.
Alright, so let's give this one more shot. Let's see if this specific plugin actually works. So this would make this should give you the option to choose what option we should do, we should take. Why can't I keep it in if I've been a cop all my life? This is bullshit. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be a cop. Can't we do something else? I think I want to solve something else right now. Do it without me. I just can't keep it down. Those are our 4 options. Let's see if this works. I'm not sure if it does. Let's hope it does. If it doesn't, that's okay. We'll figure it out for the next session. There we go. That works. It appears that this one works just beautifully, but the other one not so much. Well, the chat has spoken. This is our option now. This is bullshit. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be a cop.
Okay, you've said it. You needed to say it. And now that you have...
He withdraws his hand from your back and looks you in the eye.
You need to get your shit together.
Again, I don't know what to say here. I don't know what to say. Let's do it again. What do you think, Chad? What should we say about this one? Well, it's a tie. But I do like the second option more, so we'll go with no.
No. You will get your shit together.
The lieutenant's expression is stern and impenetrable. He points at you as he says that.
For a moment, the hanged man appears to smile. His lips are red, like a clown's.
Bitch fight, see? Bitches are at it.
Bitches about to kill each other, I think.
We should go and do something else. Give it half an hour. Then come back when you've gotten your act together.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet and internalize it for special bonuses and effects.
Well, yes, we already did take a look at the thought cabinet. We already have a couple of thoughts because we were so adamant about being a superstar that it was the first thought we actually got. I think at this point, we've established our superstardom to the point that we should absolutely internalize this. It seems important that we internalize our superstardom very fast. It's gonna give us a -2 logic for the 1 hour and 10 minutes, but I think we'll be okay. And lastly, we already looked at inexplicable feminist agenda, which I might internalize at some point, we'll see. But we also just recently got Volumetric shit compressor. Let's see what that is. No temporary research bonus. Research time 30 minutes. Your shit is apart, and it's rather unbecoming of a cop and a human being. It's supposed to be the opposite of that. Together, compressed in a small area. To achieve a solid level of shit compression, squeeze your butt cheeks together for 30 minutes. Do something similar with the 2 hemispheres of your brain. Talk to people. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, I think this is something that we really need to do right now. It's gonna take us a half an hour to go through that. Well, it did suggest that we just spoke to people. It's not a bad idea. Some magnesium and some money. We're up to 0.6 real right now. Magnesium is for healing morale. One of the 2 health bars we have in the game. 1 physical, 1 morale. So while we're waiting for our shit to compress...
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
What is this?
It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack.
But why am I looking at this random pile of roofing material then?
Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly.
Well, imagine that. We actually passed a check. Pull the panels aside.
There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
Well, I mean, I don't think we have anything better to do than investigate this random door behind a pile of Eternite. Let's see what's in there. An empty tube of magnesium supplement. Unfortunately, it's empty. We could have used one. A silver plate with traces of bone yellow powder.
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you. There's a good, vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Oh, you mean as in lie? I'm not sure if Rhetoric... I think Rhetoric wants me to say the last one. I'm not sure about Justice. Okay, why don't we just let the chat decide? What should we say about these sweet amphetamines that we just found? What do you think we should say to Kim about this? Oh boy, it's very even. It's very even. I'm gonna have to do the I'm gonna have to be the tiebreaker. Let's see, we're the superstar cop. What does a superstar cop do? A superstar cop would absolutely snort that amphetamine. It would we'd be doing ourselves a disservice by not doing amphetamines when we're a complete superstar cop. I've heard amphetamines make you a really good detective. Are you a really good detective?
No, I'm just a regular detective, thank you very much.
Well, that didn't actually lean to anything. That was just a thing we could say to Kim, and I'm not sure if he actually appreciated that comment very much. Alright. You know what? I'm just gonna do a quick coin roll. For this one, because we still have these two and they were both virtually at the same. So let's say 1 through 3 would be the first one and 4 through 6 is the other one. You won't be able to see it. I'm just gonna do this on a dice roll generator. Okay, we got a 2, which means that we are going to say someone has taken narcotics here. Perhaps the police should interfere.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However,
He points to the ladder in the corner.
see that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path the local kids use.
Kim's getting a little bit ahead of the game here. I don't think the game expects you to get here this far. I think it expects you to be talking to people rather than coming here. I think we'll ignore this for right now because it's kind of breaking the stride of the game. The poster says, "Get out of the way or get fucked up." A cured pig's head. It looks mummified. Well, we got some more money. We are up to 1 real. 1 real. That is phenomenal. We only owe a 130 real to Whirling in Rags. We're on our way there. Okay, Kim mentioned the harbor. That probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't think the game expects you to actually pull off what we just did and actually tore off the Eternite. The letter R bears a crown on the ribbon below, a light above descending. This is the logo of the municipality of Revachol.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags." There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still.
Why am I looking at you, trash container? You're just a trash container.
The body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the smell of death.
That is a good point. Lieutenant, what do you think could be in there?
Trash, food waste from the cafeteria. They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too.
Well, Inland Empire did say that there's something in there. I guess we should just follow our gut on that. Yes, I feel like there's something in there.
What do you mean, feel?
It's extrasensory perception. Whatever is in there holds special significance.
I agree. We should get someone from the remote viewers division here.
Now, Kim, there's no need to be sarcastic.
He's being sarcastic. Do not ask what the remote viewers division is.
I kind of want to ask what is the remote viewers division, but Rhetoric is very strongly feeling that we should just point out that there's just not need for any sarcasm. But I you know what? Let's. How about you decide? Which should we go for? Do we oppose Rhetoric and actually ask, or do we go with Rhetoric and realize that, yeah, he's pretty sarcastic, la-di-da-di-da. Take your pick. Okay, I guess there's no question about this one. There's no need for sarcasm, I just feel strongly about it, that's all. Maybe it's not connected to the case, but still...
Oh. It might also be evidence. The mob could have disposed of something in there. We should get it open.
How do we get the lock open then?
We could try using a pry bar. There's one in my motor carriage, or...
Okay, the second one is clearly the one I want to pick, but we're very weak individual. I don't think we should go for this. Or Lieutenant?
Or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one.
Yeah, that seems like a more level-headed solution to the problem, to be honest. We can still try to crack it open with the pry bar. And since he mentioned it's in his car, in his vehicle, I guess we should go to his vehicle, explore that a little bit further. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 8B. There are bottles inside. You can pick them up if you had a bag. Also, I apologize for my French. It's not impeccable. Well, the pry bar is here, supposedly.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue and white livery, bearing the number 57. Vapor emanates from the large engine on the back of the vehicle. It hasn't had time to cool off yet. This must be the infernal machine, that toy from Oblivion. The Caprice Kinema motor carriage.
Yes, as Encyclopedia told us, where we woke up to the infernal noise of the engine, and the Encyclopedia told us that it was the Caprice Kinema. Let's open the door.
In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Well, we could do a number of things. We could pick up the radio, call our precinct, and let them know that our badge is missing. But for right now, I think we're looking for the tools.
A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools inside are neatly organized.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools, like some men are.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work.
Well, he hides it pretty well, at the very least. Take the red-tipped pry bar.
The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, heavier than you'd think. Useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids.
Let's take the rubber-handled chain cutters as well.
The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap go the cutters in your hand. You can do good work with these. Cut chains, locks, and ropes, especially belts.
Oh, interfacing loves that. Interfacing really appreciates all these different tools we're bringing out from the toolbox. Take the hand-cranked flashlight.
It's robust, weatherproof, and well-made. Police issue, blue. Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss.
That should be convenient. Push it in.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook.
Let's run our fingers over one of the steering levers.
The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm.
Maybe we've actually drove one before then. Let's tap on the fuel preheater gauge.
As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Translation: we're not going anywhere right now.
Got it.
Alternative translation: don't even think you can drive my MC.
It's probably for the best, to be honest. Let's have a look at what we just picked up. The pry bar. Equip this to open locked containers in the world. The red-tipped pry bar has Carson T heavy-duty engraved just below the handle. It's satisfyingly heavy and perhaps one of the most useful tools to carry around. We all know that the pry bar is the best instrument for survival horror games, but also RPGs. There's no way around that. Chain cutters. Same thing. These open some locked containers. The meanest looking pair of cutters you've ever seen, made in Gottwald in Warschim Werkzeuge. Werkzeuge? Walschirm Werkzeuge. No chain, wire nor barbed fence will ever stand in your way. They look hungry, ready to chew steel. As for the flashlight, a police flashlight bearing the logo of Grundstellung Rau. The small dynamo packed inside this handheld illumination device theoretically gives you the ability to produce a tiny amount of electricity anytime, anywhere. Well, we got some tools. We may as well just put them in our hands right here and now. And I guess the next step is to, since maybe there's something in the trash, we should maybe go talk to Gart, ask him for a key to the trash container, and actually explore what's inside. It's not like we'll be examining that corpse anytime soon. We're still feeling pretty nauseous about all that. Oh boy, this is going to be super awkward. We just ran away from him a while ago without paying, and now we're about to ask him for a key. I guess we'll just see how it goes.
real mature man. What exactly were you trying to accomplish? You do understand you still owe me money, right?
Damn, your feet thought we got away.
Yeah, we really tried. We really tried to get away. Okay, I'm gonna leave this up for the chat. What do you think we should say? Hold on, what is this money anyway? You didn't appreciate my moves? Don't I get something for effort? I'm sorry. I know it was irresponsible of me to run. You have to understand I was desperate. What are we gonna say? What are we gonna say to Guard about our trying to run away from the damages and all the money we owe him? Let's see. What do you think we should say? Oh boy. Did you have an oath to make this super difficult for me? Maybe I can find, let's see, there's probably like a way to roll a dice in Google real quick to settle this. I said, you know what? No, I'm taking initiative. I am saying, hold on, what is this money anyway?
What are you, brain damaged?
Since I woke up, I have trouble remembering even the most basic concepts of reality.
Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room, or 8 bottles of potent blend, and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really.
Where can I get money?
Are you serious? From your work? I don't know. You can take bribes, I guess. I'm sorry. I don't think cops take bribes.
Some do take recompense, but only to survive.
He's somewhat empathetic towards some cops taking bribes. Why do I need money, Guards? Please explain me, why do I need money?
For survival. To pay me. Unless you want to become a hobo. Do you want to become a hobo? There's nowhere else to stay in Martinez, and it's a cold spring outside. Money doesn't make you happy, but it lets you be unhappy for a bit longer. If you run out of money, you die. It's like that for all of us. Me too. That's why I need you to pay me. I'm not an asshole.
Sure you're not. We found some coins. Is this money?
Yes, it is.
That's 10 plus 10 plus 20 equals 40. I'm now down by 40, right?
No, you see, that's 40 cents. Cents are a form of currency 100 times smaller than the real. I'm not even going to take this. Come back when you have 130 real.
100 times smaller?
Yes.
But that's horrible.
It is.
He stands silently looking at the coins on the counter.
Isn't it evil? The order of magnitude between what is asked of a person and what they have.
Conceptualization is feeling very artsy about this whole money concept. Darkness rides, and as we pick up the coins.
It does, doesn't it?
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi looks for something in the pockets of his orange bomber. That's Cop 4. I haven't offered to pay because I don't have any money either.
Sure you're not holding out on us, Kim? Alright, so I guess we just get to do all of these in a row. You didn't appreciate my moves, Gart?
You know what? The stupid drinks you've had are on the house. You know why? Because I know you can't pay for them. not because you ran away. Now, I still have to charge you for 3 nights and the broken window. That's 100 square.
Well, you know what? Wow, that actually worked. He actually reduced 30 real from our total bill. I wasn't expecting that. I don't think I've ever seen that before in all my playthroughs. That window was just an unfortunate casualty of me practicing my moves. I won't pay you for it.
Fine, I'll take it off the bill. Sleep in a post-apocalyptic hellhole if you want to. Just know I won't give you another room.
So we're cool?
Not entirely cool. You still owe me 60 real for 3 nights stay. If you don't have it by tonight, I can't let you back up there.
He points upstairs towards your room.
Now, what the hell did you want? I assume you wanted something to come back here.
Yeah, I'm out there. Is the trash container out back yours?
Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
I wonder what this feeling is.
Prod at him and find out.
Doesn't it seem callous to you, guarding even your leftovers from the poor?
Callous? What are you, Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The Whirling in Rags is not special in that regard.
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism.
So, if you're not familiar with Karl Marx, this might not ring a bell, but Krasmazov is basically the weird magical realistic alternatives nom de guerre, as it were, for Karl Marx. So yes, this game actually does point out to real life occurrences, real historical events, but it does it in its own universe, and this is just one of the few examples of that. Well, Encyclopedia, you started it up. Yum yum, tell me more.
He killed himself.
That's it? Well, maybe I am Krasmazov.
What are we talking about? Was this not about the trash container?
No, wait. What if I am Krasmazov?
We should return to the case of your mistaken identity at a later time, officer. This was about the trash container.
You're right about that. I'm sorry I got off track there. It's just that the encyclopedic knowledge in my hand told me about Krasmazov. And the, you know what? We just need those keys.
What for? Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash container?
Jeez, already we're getting some flack from saying that out loud.
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
You know, we can get back to these. I think we have more pressing issues. More pressing matters at the moment. We still have the body to examine and the trash container. But something caused a thought in us. Let's see what it is.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it.
Do I even have one?
But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere.
That's a good point. We've only been here for a while. maybe we were far away.
In time or space?
That's a very philosophical question, I think. If we were to be far away 3 nights ago, I would say in time, because it no longer matters. But also maybe in space, so... I'm just gonna say both.
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money.
Well, that is a good point. We have 2 choices here. Maybe we could trace the way back to where we lived, to the exact street, the exact number on a building. Or maybe we'll just live in a dumpster. We don't care. Fuck everything. Hobo cop. This is why this chat thing exists. Are we gonna trace our way back home to where we came from, or do we not even care because we can just live in a dumpster? Take your pick. Well, that doesn't leave anything up to question. Maybe we can trace it back to the exact street. Where did we come from? Where is home?
You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
Perhaps. We get in thoughts. And we also finished a thought, as it said. So let's see what Volumetric shit compressor has done for us.
Volumetric shit compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do just fine. We have just unlocked all endurance weight checks, which means we can go back to check the body. We also increased our learning cap for endurance to 4. Previously... Actually, let's see what that does. If we take a look at our skills, it does indeed increase our endurance max. So if once we have skill points, we can put more points here now, more than all the other skills. But I guess most importantly allows us to actually take a look at what's in the container. We're still trying to internalize our idea of superstardom, and we also got Lonesome Long Way From Home. And since Chad actually voted for this, I think it's only appropriate to actually start internalizing it. Let's see what it does. The temporary research bonus is +1 encyclopedia. Factual memory returns. The research time is 6 hours and 5 minutes. Let's rewind. Let's trace your drunken steps back home. Jump across the raised channel bridge southwest of here. Fall over. Get up. Get off the asphalt in 20 minutes. Shuffle your feet through the courtyard, scaring little children. Go under the Great Race Motor Tract, the 881, until you reach Le Domaine Eminent in North Shamrock. The streets are frozen this time of year, caked with ice. Walk down Main to Perdition. There's a side alley there, and your footprints in the mud. I think we have to internalize this. So let's take a look. We still owe Gart. I I believe he's at 60 real, even after all that. Even after all the discounts that we got. We have to open the trash container. Now that we have the key, that should be easy. The question is, you just need a pry bar, but we already have the key. Inspect the victim's body. Report your badge missing and sing karaoke. I think the sing karaoke and get a reality lowdown, because we don't understand where we are. I think those are not as important as the dead body hanging behind the whirling in rags, where it has been hanging for a while now, as we've come to realize. Let's see.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Yeah, we still have this unlocked because we failed it before. We either need to improve visual calculus or get some kind of modifier that will unlock that again. It's not gonna happen right now, though. But for what it's worth, we got the key for the trash container. So maybe we'll just open that up. See if there's some clues in there. We are a detective. We have to search for clues. We're a detective.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags."
I mean, we do have the key. It only... and our physical instrument is so low that it's only going to be embarrassing to try this. Okay, Chad, what do you think? Are we gonna embarrass ourselves by trying to pry open this trash container with our measly muscles? Or are we just gonna be logical about it and unlock it with the key? You decide. What are we gonna do? Oh, I appreciate that so much. That is exactly what we would do. We're a logical, intelligent person. Why would we use our muscles when we don't really have any muscles? Let's open the padlock with the key.
With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
Didn't I just have a premonition that there's something in there? Inland Empire? Why are you being so suspicious all of a sudden?
There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is still on the lid.
Just open it. Come on. How bad could it be?
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
I appreciate the sarcasm. Look under the boxes of carton.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this.
Used to what? Dumpster diving?
No, searching for evidence in the trash.
Oh, I guess I was a little bit self-deprecating there. Dive further.
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Turbo noodles. I could go for some turbo noodles right about now. Pick at the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
grab them.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer.
The lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. Let's bag him.
Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
Looks into the container.
the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
I like just nope. Reach for it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Tag him and tag him.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
A military type overgarment, you say? That might be a clue.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that,
A thrown out towel, a mug. That's all.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
He nods toward the red-haired boy behind him. Yeah, we need to ask the kids who put them there.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
You think someone from the whirling might have been involved, maybe?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked and this establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Okay.
the lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
I guess we'll just search the food waste. That seems like a reasonable thing to do.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Pick it out.
They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
For some reason did read out the initial text, something larger, a clipboard, a blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this is.
It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there.
A miserable looking slip of paper sticks to the board.
If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
Must have been cramming my style. It has a foreboding quality to it. Maybe I needed to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin. I think I didn't want to be a cop anymore, so I threw it away. Somebody whirling threw it in the trash. I don't know. I'm boring. I'd rather not talk about it right now. How about we let the chat decide what is our response to Kim's inquiry about tossing our own ledger in the trash. Oh, we got the boring option. Someone from the whirling through in the trash? I don't know. I'm boring.
Boring. Try dangerous. You should do a thorough inventory of that. Be sure some has not fallen into the hands of the RCM's enemies, organized crime, or worse. Official notes sometimes contain informants' names, even undercover operatives.
Yeah, I don't think we should challenge him on that. He's probably right. Okay, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
He peers into the trash where soggy cartons and racks stink uninvitingly.
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
Yeah, we'll get to that eventually. The mug. I'm getting that mug too.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron.
An antique?
Only in its social sensibility.
Take the mug.
Mm-hmm.
The lieutenant briefly glances at the mug and then returns his sight to the trash.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Let's close the lid.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Well, I should hope so. Let's have a look at our inventory. We got a couple of new things. We got the damaged ledger. This is the ledger you found in the trash. It's full of notes written in a man's dense cursive. Have a closer look. Maybe it can be salvaged to start keeping the notes on the case. We also got the yellow man mug. This broken cared mug somehow made its way into the world-ending rags dumpster. It depicts a person of Sumerian descent frolicking in a field of saffron flowers, buck-toothed and grinning feeble-mindedly. It seems to be a cheap knockoff of some colonial-era antique. Great. We have a racist mug, and we have a damaged ledger. Well, as important as the ledger is in knowing who we are, I think right now, after we've achieved volumetric shit compression, we should probably take a look at the body, shouldn't we? Because that's our job as the police.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Well, it got a lot better. It's now at 72% because our shit is compressed. But how about we try and see if chat wants to improve this? We would need physical for this one. We're still at 72. I think this one doesn't work as it's supposed to. It definitely feels like it. But let's go with this nonetheless.
As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
Do they always do that?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
Let's take a step closer.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Let us start from the first one and just inspect the boots for now.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Thank you, Logic. These aren't just boots, are they? They're armor.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
What kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
What happened to the rest of it?
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
As he nods toward the red-haired boy eyeing you suspiciously. Okay, yeah, I don't think we want to say maybe he was just wearing these boots and there is no rest of the armor. That doesn't seem like a very logical thing to do, and we're a very logical, intelligent person. Understood.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic.
The material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive.
The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the ceramic with his index finger.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
That sounds like a lot.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank.
We could just go ka-ching, baby, as we nod to the boots, and that's a lot as we take it, and we might really... You know what, this time we're just gonna go with encyclopedia, because when my yearly pay is 5,500 real?
Not too much, yes.
Okay, I'm not gonna pick this one. I need to hustle more and hate less. I'm not picking this one. Sounds puny. No wonder I can't pay my hostel bill. Because that's obviously the problem, is my income, not the fact that I trashed my hotel room, drank a whole lot of booze on the tab. That's not the issue. It's the fact that my salary sucks.
It's a sorry situation, I agree.
Well, he agrees at any rate. How could this man afford such expensive hardware?
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company. But that's just hearsay.
Initial report?
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
I'm sure I did. These look pretty advanced for a security guard, don't they?
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Let's knock on the boot.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup. The pry bar in your hand is itching for some action.
Yeah. You know what? Physical instrument, as puny as we are, physical instrument is our signature skill, and it's longing for some action. We are absolutely gonna swing the pry bar at the boot.
The metal connects with the same ding. The sound does not appear to get louder.
That's a little bit... dull. I was expecting a little bit more than that.
Did you hear that? A click?
Yes, like dice rolling.
This is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads the incoming energy horizontally, from plate to plate. When the plates connect, there's a click. That's the sound you heard. See these lines?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether. Like whirls of floorboards, the design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
What does this remind me of?
If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like.
Thank you, conceptualization, for giving me this artistic view of these enameled boots. Let's run our finger over the lines.
The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice the whorls are in the shape of a letter and number combination: E50, 100, 1000.
Perception actually coming through for us. Looks like there's a serial number on the right sabaton.
Good. Can you read it to me?
He tips the drying ball point of his pen on his tongue. E50, 100, 1000.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
Well, let's just pull the boot off, because that seems like a reasonable thing to do.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure?
Yeah, grab the boot under your arm.
The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above.
Stop!
The lieutenant's voice is sharp. He looks at you with the boot under your arm.
Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
Oh, this is a bad idea, isn't it?
You're going to pull his head off.
Do it, Homo!
I'm gonna pull his head off, right?
Yes, that's what I said. You'll compromise the coroner's case if you do. So please, don't.
Indeed, from this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much more. Being dead for a week has all but liquefied his muscles.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot?
Wow, I think this is one for the chat right here. These boots would go super well with my bell-bottom pants. This is advanced enemy technology. We should conduct research into their weaknesses. I think this is us. I think this is actually the character we created from the get-go. Are we not detectives? There may be clues inside the boot. You said they're expensive. I thought I could pawn them or earn some lucre. I'm sorry. I didn't even want to take him off. I just thought I should try. How about you folks pick what we should say about why are we hanging on to the boots? Why are we trying to twist them off the dead body? Alright, we have our solution. This is precisely how I think our detective would handle the situation. We should conduct research into their weaknesses.
This is not the enemy. This is the deceased, the victim, in a murder investigation.
Better safe than sorry.
That doesn't mean anything, detective. Besides,
The lieutenant taps on the boot.
there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now. Why do you think the locals haven't scavenged them yet?
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down, and second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
Interfacing likes the idea of us stealing the dead man's boots. How about we put this off for a vote as well? Just to set us off as to what kind of a cop we are. Are we one that should maybe take the boots for science, maybe to figure out enemy technology that might actually be good? Or are we gonna be very honorable about it and not steal a dead man's boots? For that is wrong. How about you decide what we're gonna do? Alright. Looks like we're going to be acceptors.
The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice and cracky.
That cracky feeling in your fingers. What's gonna happen to the boots then?
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
Yes, processing. Processing is what's gonna take care of those boots. Let's back off and look at the corpse.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Inspect the belt.
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
See, if our intelligence was any less than this, Encyclopedia would not chime in with this maybe important information. Don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting? I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparently this is the reinforced kind for air transport. My brain tells me so.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
So are we assuming that the dock workers from the harbor did it then?
The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
I'm not even gonna ask Jed's opinion on this. My past has undergone total annihilation. Nothing remains. My mother, the love of my life, certainly not a briefing.
Okay, you should ask me for one the first moment we get.
Okay, we will do that once the opportunity presents itself. They sure wanted him to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel wiring.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
He points to the buckle, tying the belt to the branch above. Did they climb using the kid's ladder?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
He makes a pulling motion.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
Back off and look at the corpse.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
Inspect the tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. His corpse is marked by stars.
What will mine be marked by?
alcohol and heartbreak.
I don't know what this is supposed to mean. Is this a national pattern?
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocentic worship. But which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure.
We're missing something here.
I agree.
A sudden ring fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
What's that?
A Trigger Sunshine. Mini.
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices, primarily projectors. The camera before you looks familiar somehow.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
He produces two metal-capped ampoules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting. Then,
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
the lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. That's a cool machine.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
Oh, interfacing chiming in. Yes, there is only the one left. What shall we use it for? What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter, to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Can I have it? I should look at it later, without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
He hands the piece of paper rolled in the photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
Look him in the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
Well, we have an Inland Empire check over here, where we can ask the dead man, who is he? Maybe we'll try if chat wants to improve or decrease the chance for us to speak with the dead body. Still 58. I don't think this one works. I think it just doesn't work. Well, it's at 58. Let's try asking him. Who is he?
The corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
That is a good question.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
Let's back off.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench. Eyes like a shark.
squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Visual calculus coming through. Let's observe.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
His face and hands are pink. Thighs too.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
Let's relax our eyes.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
What shall we say? This is very morose. The next one is very analytical. So this coming out of him. You know what, let's just go with the first one. I think he's dead.
Agreed. Especially on the neck.
Oh,
The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
actually did not mean to say the second one. I actually said, I think it was upright after that. His hand, feet, and neck are discolored. And Kitsuragi agrees with that. So could it still be he was moved after that?
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
I think he's dead.
I agree.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Oh, thank you, artsy brain, for giving me this thought.
Totally dead.
Oh, wow. Conceptualization is so hard. Just so high that it wants us to say this. There are very good options here. The world no longer stores his personality in its composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago. No, better not say that. Too heavy. Or we could say, totally. This buster's not coming back. Dead. What is dead anyway? How about you decide, chat? What shall we say about this? Oh wow. Again, we have a 50-50. I think we have to roll a die with a generator, with a roll die. So let's say 1 through 3 is going to be the world no longer stores his personality, and the rest is going to be dead. And I'm going to roll the dice here. And we have the first one. We have a 1. The world no longer stores his personality in its composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago.
That sounds about right, yes.
He nods in agreement with this advanced piece of conceptualization. Something's coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
We got lucky.
Did we? I don't feel lucky.
That's a good point, Kim. He's been up. See the bruises?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
It means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
Back off and catch your breath.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's down.
He stops to think, then checks his notes. We've been thorough. Do you have a plan for getting him down?
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Well, can't someone else just do it?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
What was that about processing, then? Weren't they supposed to take care of the boots? Why don't they help?
Well, can't the boys from processing take care of this?
No.
Why?
Think of the boys from processing as murderers. Only instead of people, they murder crime scenes. Processing is a wrecking crew. They know how to commission off items and how to work the incinerator in the morgue. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
We could maybe saw the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Yeah, it does seem dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Maybe we could ask for help from the harbor.
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
Yeah, if there are suspects, I think we should maybe consider our options.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
I love the fact that we could say seems like a lot of hassle. Let's not do it. But that doesn't seem like us. Maybe we could shoot him down.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Oh, thank you, visual calculus. So, there, the buckle holds the belt together.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
Pick the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst thing that could happen?
I'll blow his head off.
Take it! Take the shot!
Yeah, take the shot. Kuno wants some of that shit.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzle-loader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Easy does it, partner.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
Fucking idiot! Mulkapa asshole!
On mulkkupää. Se on itse, joka eka sanoo. Mulkkupää is actually Finnish for dickhead. In case you were wondering.
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
It's okay, man.
Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano Cloud.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
What now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
Well, I can try to shoot him down myself.
It's bad as it is, us shooting firearms like punks here. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't hit the victim.
I'm gonna need your gun for this.
They only have one gun.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Officer, why do we only have one gun?
He asks, carefully loading his pistolet. Remember when I told you I didn't have my badge or uniform with me when I wake up? I didn't have my gun either.
That is even more unfortunate than the badge. You need to contact your station about it as soon as possible. Try not to lose this one, please.
Take the gun.
Take it, you fucking banana poika. Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth.
Banana poika, you say. Banana boy. Okay. That's I don't know why you're calling me that. Feel the weight first.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth.
Point the gun at the belt.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Well, we could say shut up to the kid. We could pull the trigger close or left eye first. We could point it at her, which is probably not a good idea for a police officer to do. Let's close our left eye first.
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, slick with the falling rain. The corpse slowly rotates. The slow movement of the branch in the wind and your shoulders directing the gun sink up, dancing hypnotically.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
I don't think I need to explain what the last word means. Well, we have a hand-eye coordination check right here. And I think we're just gonna hope that Chet can maybe boost our motorics for this one. It hasn't worked tonight, but maybe it will for this one when we actually need to do some work. Let's see. Okay, 42% to 42%. I don't think it's gonna work. But, yep, I guess let's just go for it. Let's hope for the best. Whoa.
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slump down. For a moment, the man appears to kneel in front of you, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself.
Who killed you?
Communism.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from, only that it's right. Then the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
How did I do that?
By being a damn good shot. Ace is high.
The lieutenant raises his right hand, waiting for you to slap it.
The ace is high, a custom invented by the aerostatic brigades during the revolution, is used to celebrate success in Revachol, especially in sports. The gesture is spread across the world despite the defeat of the revolutionaries themselves.
I'm not gonna leave Kim hanging. Let's slap it.
The lieutenant takes a little hop to perform the customary salutation. Your palm hurts from the slap. It's precise and down to the point.
I knew these guys were
Well, let's just ignore these. Let's just ignore him. What now?
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before... Excuse me.
He needs to turn away from the corpse.
It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy.
Wait, field autopsy?
Yes. The 4 phases of a murder scene. 1. Investigation of the scene. I can't say I'm fully satisfied with that part. We should search for prints, maybe.
He points to the spring mud around you.
2. Initial examination of the victim. We were exhaustive in our efforts there. Good job. 3. Field autopsy. This will not be pleasant or easy, and it will have to be performed on the scene.
The fuck are they on about?
Cops are gonna cut his shit up next.
4 and final, transport of the coroner's case to the district morgue. I'll do that. God, this stinks.
Do we have someone else for the autopsy? Like a doctor?
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From crime scene to autopsy to cleanup, we do it all.
Honorary rank?
An honor and a burden attached to your rank. Mine is Lieutenant Detective, unfortunately. I can't tell you how tired I am of this corpse.
I don't think I'm a detective.
With shooting like that? Of course you are. Your station would not have assigned you to this case otherwise.
Alright. Let's give him back his gun.
In the meantime, we should try to interview Evrard Clare, the leader of the Union. Harbor property was clearly used in the hanging. The harbor just east of here. Getting in might prove a challenge, though. Or we could ask around for the representative of the logistics company. My initial information says the Wild Pines have sent some sort of strike negotiator to wrangle control back from Evrard.
You could ask the gardener for directions.
Is this the famous list of initial interviews?
Yes. And those were the interviewees. Let's go.
Well, we did gain a thought as we were doing all that, so let's see what that is.
Some kind of superstar.
Well, here we go.
They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
Well, wow. That sounds brilliant. We got -1 to logic, price of self-delusion. Learning cap for visual calculus, suggestion, electrochemistry, and composure have been raised to 6. All 4 of them. I'm not sure how much that's gonna help us, but we are now some kind of a superstar, and I think that's something. And I do believe this will be the time where we say goodbye to Disco Elysium. Just gonna save our game here. If it just allows me to actually name it. And this is where we say goodbye to our detective story for tonight. As we've actually made some progress. We actually shut down the body. We can now examine it. We have a bunch of new tasks, like who put the clothes in the trash, read your ledger and name the case, where's the rest of the armor, read the number, la-di-da-di. We have a lot of this stuff, and we'll be looking through it next time thoroughly as we get back to Disco Elysium. I'll see you then.